This is episode number 19 of Real Occult, where we apply numerology and astrology to the material world so that you can eliminate stress, eliminate overwhelm, gain clarity around your purpose, and have more fun in your day-to-day experiences. Today, it is March 28th, 2025, a 4 life path, 1 day on Friday, Venus Day. Tomorrow, or I guess in the middle of the night tonight, like 3 a.m, West Coast time, Pacific time, we have the second eclipse of the month. Lunar eclipse happened 2 weeks ago on like the 13th-ish, somewhere right in there. And then now we have the solar happening tomorrow in Pisces. It's all been fantastic. So in this episode, we are talking about a general overview of eclipse season, the first quarter of the year. How's the energy started? Where is it going? Where is it taking us? And how can we find alignment with these universal energies? So the energy of the day today, Friday, Venus Day, Venus, beauty, love, relationships, business with other people, relationships with the masses. And it is a 4 energy, 22 life path, master builder. The universe is building and working, and today is the beginning of a new cycle. The 28th, 2 plus 8 is 1. New cycle energy begins today. Work cycle. 22 energy builder starts today. That consists of feminine karma, 2, feminine, divine, 8, material world, karma, very powerful energy. And so, the year that we are in, 2025, is a 9 universal energy year. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 5 is 9. This universal year is concluding the energetic cycle that began in 2017. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 7, 10. Magnified 1 energy. So there is a law of the universe known as Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. These are one of the physical laws of motion on this planet. And so this does not only apply to work. This does not only apply to a ball rolling down the hill or you kicking a ball, where it would say the amount of pressure your foot applies on the ball is equal to the amount of pressure the ball applies onto your foot, which is how the ball now moves forward. The same thing is true in your expenditure of energy. Wherever your energy goes, you will receive an equal and opposite reaction. So, you're dumping all this energy in 2017. That feedback cycle is finishing this year. 2017 was a rooster year. 2025 is a snake year. In Chinese astrology, they are in the same trine. The cycle is completing. One, rooster is the 10th sign, snake's the sixth. You get 7, divine. Finishing of the cycle. Intelligent completion of the cycle. And so, this year is the transitionary energy before we start a new input cycle. Last year was a karmic year. 2024 was karma. So you were clearing the karma that you gathered while you were doing all the inputs a decade ago. Karma was cleared last year. Now this year, we are finishing the completion of that cycle so that next year we can start a brand new input cycle. And this is how compounding works. Just like with money, it works with your actions as well. And from a personal growth aspect, you compound based on what energy of the day is. Today's a 4-1 day. There were 3 other 4-1 days this month. So I had 3 opportunities for this energy this month to put in work, inputs into the universe, inputting my energy into the universe so that I'll get equal and opposite reactions coming back to me, which we call results. So this cycle that began in 2017, we cleared our karma last year. Now this month and last month, we have been coming to a peak with these eclipses. January 29th, we shifted from dragon year into snake year, which was the second shift of the year. The first was the new year, the universal energy shifts. And now we have the Chinese energy shift. And now we are getting ready, or we have been experiencing the solar energy shift, the equinoxes shift. So everything is going through this shifting into 9 energy, conclusion energy, finishing this cycle. With this solar eclipse happening tomorrow, we currently have 5 planets in Pisces, or 5 energies in Pisces. We have the sun, we have the moon, we have Venus, which is retrograde right now. We have Mercury, which is also retrograde right now. And we have the node Rahu. So the head node, north node, Rahu. And so this eclipse is happening with all 5 of these energies currently in Pisces. Pisces is the 12th sign. It is a sign of, it's a water sign that is extremely spiritual and transformative. It's a transitionary sign from release into something new. You go from 12 back to 1, because then the cycle starts over again because it's the last sign. So it's a conclusive energy that propels you elsewhere. Kind of like in the ocean, you have all of these currents happening under the water. Pisces energy is those currents happening under the water. So with us having Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde currently happening in Pisces, all conjunct Rahu, which is illusionary energy, because Rahu is something where you focus so much on this, you want this thing so bad that you're delusional. You're not seeing reality. So we have Venus retrograde, our internal value, what we value, how we value ourselves and others. Retrograde with Mercury, how we communicate and express ourselves. Also retrograde in the 12th house, or in the 12th sign, Pisces. For some people, this is in your 12th house as well, which magnifies this even more. In Pisces, all happening with Rahu energy, creating delusion and false images. So we've been in this current of transition for a month now, as we are in this bigger picture ending cycle of 9 universal energy completing the cycle that began back in 2017. And so if you are feeling pushed out of old habits, being drawn towards something new, you are supposed to. This is a time of breaking these old habits to make room for the new ones that will actually support you in where you are trying to go. Because the universe wants you to win. This is a correction year. So even if you're having a terribly tough time, remember the universe is simply giving you the corrections required for you to fulfill your purpose. And so a couple of the lessons that I've learned with Venus retrograde in Pisces through this eclipse season. And so Saturn, I meant to say this earlier, I'm on a walk. And so we're free balling here, or spitballing here. And it's just a little messy. Saturn enters Pisces 3 hours, like 3.5 hours after the eclipse ends in Pisces. So on the day of the eclipse, we have 6 planets in Pisces. The 5 are in it as the eclipse is happening. And then right after the eclipse ends, Saturn transitions from Aquarius into Pisces, solidifying the lessons that have been learned throughout this period. And so for myself, a couple of these lessons, one of the biggest ones, or possibly the biggest lesson, has been a Venus lesson with this Venus retrograde. Growing up, I played or competed in 24 seasons of sport between kindergarten and graduating high school. So that's playing hockey, that's playing football, that's playing baseball. There's a season of soccer in there. We trained martial arts, but I didn't even include that. Just season after season after season of different sports playing year round. And my body was destroyed. My body got completely wrecked, which is part of what sent me into kinesiology and studying movement and posture and helping people with that. But the lesson that I picked up was I have always been extremely competitive. I want to win. I want my team to win. More than I want to win, I want my team to win, because I love seeing other people win. And so my focus was always on being the best. How do I be the best? How do I be the best? How can I be the best? In order to be the best, you have to beat the best. So now, by simply competing and focusing on being the best, I am forced to draw comparisons with others. In order for me to beat you, I have to know how good you are. And this creates expectations. And now whether or not you have reality live up to those expectations creates emotion. So even if you win, but you didn't win the way you wanted to, or your expectations were not met, there's still negative emotions. And part of this Venus retrograde for me has been all about how do I detach myself from that, release myself from that delusion of having to be the best when I cannot control what someone else does, for how someone else performs on my team or the other team. And so this Venus retrograde multiple times has been right in my face. As long as I am doing my best, knowing I couldn't do any better, it's a win. And so when I was playing college sports, people were like, oh my gosh, you're doing all this extra work, you're putting in extra skates, you're doing blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I know I'm not doing my best. I spent like 2 years in my mid-20s as my grandfather's in-home hospice caretaker. So I was his daily caretaker, and I drive over there, we do breakfast, lunch, dinner, have to do the diaper change, all that stuff. And the night he passed, the one lady's like, I've been doing this for 20 years, I've never seen a grandson, care so much, basically. And I'm just like, I know I didn't do my best. I could have done better. And no, so that was, even though that was a little while ago, that was over a year ago, that's like 2 years ago now, a year and a half ago. Me knowing whether or not I did my best is the only thing that tells me whether or not that was a win. If I do my best, it's a win for me, because I'm playing my game. Someone else is playing their game. I'm playing my game. So my focus is on how well did I do what I was supposed to do. And now communicating that to others, not caring about someone else playing a different game than me. How can I support them in winning their game? So those are two: a Venus retrograde lesson, a Mercury retrograde lesson that has been top of mind for me, that I'm very excited about having it sealed in with this eclipse tonight and into the morning. The other thing is, I have been thrust into sharing my experiences with this numerology and astrology. How do I apply it? How am I using it? I do not claim to be the best numerologist or astrologist. I do not have any desire to be the best numerologist or astrologist in the world. That's not my game. But I can be one of the best people at helping others apply this information to their game. Because we're all playing different games, we all have different numbers, different charts, and different desires given our charts and numbers. Two people, same numbers, extremely similar charts, have different desires because they're different souls on different purposes and paths. And so I have, throughout this period, had sign after sign after sign telling me that this is, in general, where I'm meant to be, what I'm supposed to be doing. I have had small experiences here and there, giving me signs and clues, directing me towards the specific type of person that I can help the most. And part of this 12th sign, Pisces, Rahu, 2 retrogrades, part of this energy is you are not supposed to have all of the answers right now. You are not supposed to have clarity about the future at this moment. This type of energy is all about releasing what was for what can be, releasing your current structure for the new structure that's going to support you in achieving the results you want, commonly known as finding success, having success, because that's what success actually means, is you got the results you were looking for. And so trusting the plan, trusting the universe, trusting that it actually has your best interest in mind is crucial for this period. I believe we are all born for a specific reason. We chose to incarnate into our specific circumstances to learn the lessons required for us to fulfill our purpose. And so I don't necessarily put much stock into, are you a young soul? Are you an old soul? Because to me, it really doesn't matter whether I'm a young soul or old soul. I'm in this lifetime, and this is the lifetime I have to focus on. And this is the lifetime I'm experiencing now. So my focus should be on maximizing this experience. With that said, it's commonly thought that young souls have easy, fun existences for the first 30 years of their life, and then their challenges in their growth period starts to happen. Easy, fun, and then hard. Whereas old souls tend to be born into hard childhoods, circumstances that force them to really grow, develop, mature at an early age, so that once they hit 30, once they get to be a little bit older in society, they can share their wisdom and have a larger impact on more people. Where the younger soul, your purpose a lot of times is to simply gain experience here on this plane, on this planet, have fun, and then develop later on. Different paths, but we're all here to learn lessons that at the end of the day, when shared with others, can help lift society as a whole, can help other people improve their experiences as well. And so if you ever feel like you are falling too far behind, or if you are trying to get too far ahead, Saturn prevents you from doing so. Saturn is a planet representing structure, discipline, hard work, responsibility, and accountability. And so you have the planet in the middle with the ring that goes around the whole thing. So if you're someone like myself who's very eager to just go, let's do it now, and you try to get too far ahead from your path, I'm a slow builder. My path is all about slow growth. And I spent years trying to just, as fast as possible, go, not my energy, acting out of alignment with my energy. That ring of Saturn will prevent you from getting too far ahead. This is how you'll have business people who, in their early and mid-20s, successful business after successful business after successful business, but they keep shutting down, or they keep running into mistakes, and they keep losing their money. Alex Hormozy is my favorite example of this. I would love to see his chart, because it's like, guarantee the chart has you supporting massive wealth. Also, in your chart, you were outpacing your Saturn. You were trying to go too fast. You were growing too quickly. So 2 or 3 times you smashed into that ring, and Saturn had to recenter you until eventually, now the timing's right. Now you're ready to roll. Now you're able to flow up to your centimillion, eventual $1 billion market cap and all that. Beautiful. On the flip side, people that lag too far behind, whether you like it or not, you cannot escape you cannot escape the ring of Saturn. Saturn's ring has got you trapped in there. So as you try to fall behind, whether you like it or not, no matter how painful it's going to be, that ring is going to drag you along for the ride. You can fight it all you want, but the ring's dragging you forward as Saturn transits through the sky. You cannot escape the ring of Saturn. You cannot escape the lessons you are meant to learn in this lifetime. So, the question is, are you going to be able to, or have you been able to, let go of control in your life so that the universe can cycle out the things that no longer benefit you to replace them with the experiences, people, skills required for you to fulfill your purpose? Are you going to allow the universe to do this, or are you going to fight the current? And so, something I've learned because you might be thinking, oh man, I wish I heard this a month ago. I wish I had this message before this whole eclipse energy started taking effect so that I could be more aware of the signs that the universe was giving me. I have learned that as you apply numerology and astrology in your daily life, it's critical to be aware of the tendency to overplan because you have the knowledge available. Sometimes when you're so focused on aligning your energy properly with the energies of the day and all of the transits of the planets, you unfortunately end up missing out on life. You end up avoiding life, trying to control your life. Sometimes you have to do things under unfavorable energy because you are meant to learn a lesson out of that experience. Avoiding the tension of unfavorable energy avoids the lesson. When you do this, that ring of Saturn, when it catches up to you, it forces you to learn the lesson. Oftentimes it's infinitely more painful than if you simply experience the tension of unfavorable energy in the first place. So this was a longer podcast, a longer recording than I've done. The wind out here has been relentless, so I hope the audio wasn't terrible, isn't horrible. I guess I'll have to re-listen and see how bad it is as the wind kicks up right now. If you made it this far, I genuinely appreciate you listening, and I hope you got something out of this. There was even if it was just to pass the time as you cooked food or were driving. I genuinely appreciate you listening. If you have any questions about numerology or astrology, always send me an email, Tristan@realoccult.com, Tristan@realoccult.com. Happy to answer any questions. If you're interested in joining a community of like-minded people who are also applying numerology and astrology in their life to gain clarity, eliminate stress and overwhelm, and have more enjoyable experiences in their life, you can head to school.com//real occult. That's school.com/real occult. We've got a free community for now. After the eclipse, it's probably going to be a few bucks, maybe $3, maybe $12, somewhere in there, a month. You sign up, you get a free reading, and then you're into the community, and we're building all kinds of cool stuff in there. If you have listened this far, once again, I genuinely appreciate it. I hope you have gotten something out of this. I hope you have had an enjoyable eclipse season full of personal growth and development. Remember, the universe wants you to win, and these corrections, regardless of how painful they may be, the universe is setting you up to fulfill your purpose. The universe is setting you up to win. The more you align with your natural energies, the more enjoyable these experiences will be for you. If you would like insight or assistance in aligning with your natural energies, send me an email, Tristan@realoccult.com. Head to our school community, school.com/real occult. And I will talk to you again soon.